What does God really want? It's one of the biggest questions you can ask. And the answer? Well, it might be a lot simpler and more amazing than you've ever imagined. Okay, so let's start with a big idea. What if the entire Bible, from Genesis all the way to Revelation, isn't just a jumble of stories and rules? What if it's all telling one single connected story? And that story is about a father. A father who more than anything else just wanted a family. That's it. That's the core idea we're going to unpack right now. So where do we even begin a story like that? Well, we have to go right back to the start, to God's original plan. And you might be surprised, but it was set up kind of like a family business. Now, a lot of people think, oh, God must have been lonely, so he made us. But the Bible actually paints a totally different picture. He already had a family, a supernatural one, beings the Bible calls sons of God, angels. The plan was never about replacing them. It was about expanding the family. He wanted his two families, the heavenly one and the human one, to live and work together. It's a huge, incredible vision. So what was our role in this whole family business? Well, we were created to image God. And this is so important. Think of image as a verb, an action word, not just a thing. It means we were designed to be his representatives, his partners on earth, taking care of his amazing creation right there with him. It was a partnership, a co-worker kind of deal. But as you probably know, that perfect plan, it didn't stick. The story takes a really dark turn here, with a whole series of rebellions. This is where the perfect home gets broken. And look, it wasn't just one bad day or one mistake. It was actually a cascade of 3 major rebellions that just shattered God's plan. First, you've got Eden, a rebellion kicked off by a supernatural bad guy that introduces death into this perfect world. Then it gets worse. In Genesis 6, other supernatural beings, they corrupt humanity, leading to this pervasive soul-deep depravity. And finally, at Babel, what does humanity do? They all get together to build a monument to themselves, not to God. And that leads to their division. God basically has to divorce the nations and hand them over to lesser powers. Okay, so after all of that, you think God would just be done, right? Just scrap the whole project and start over. But he doesn't. Instead, he comes up with this totally radical solution. He decides he's going to join the family himself. Yeah, instead of wiping the slate clean or just bringing down the hammer, God does the most unexpected thing imaginable. He becomes one of us. He becomes human. The plan was to enter this broken family and fix it from the inside out. And of course, that's where Jesus walks onto the stage. And this is where it all just clicks into place. Look at this. Jesus' work isn't random. It directly tackles the fallout from those 3 big rebellions. Remember the death that came from Eden? Well, Jesus conquers it with his resurrection. That deep-seated depravity from Genesis 6, it's cleansed by the power of the Holy Spirit. And that division of all the nations from Babel, Jesus reunites everyone under his authority. It's like a perfect divine countermove for every single problem. And get this, here's the craziest twist in the whole story. The Apostle Paul drops this bombshell on us. He says that the evil powers, those rulers of this age, they had absolutely no clue this was God's plan. If they had known that killing Jesus would actually be the key to their own defeat, they never would have done it. God totally outsmarted them. It's brilliant. So Jesus' victory wasn't just the end of the war, it was the beginning of a whole new mission to take back the world. The next chapter is all about reclaiming the family, and God deploys, you could call them secret agents. And this mission kicks off in a big way at Pentecost. The Holy Spirit shows up and boom, about 3,000 people from all over the known world become believers. And then what do? They go home. Just like that, God has 3,000 undercover operatives embedded deep in enemy territory, ready to start reclaiming the very nations that were lost way back at Babel. Now, for anyone hearing this story and wondering, okay, what do I do with this? It is absolutely crucial to understand the difference between these two things. Salvation, that's how you join the family. It is a 100% free gift. You can't earn it, you just receive it by faith. But discipleship, that's different. That's how you live in the family. It's our grateful, loving response to that incredible gift as we learn to act and live and love more like Jesus. Okay, so this brings us to the grand finale, the end of the story, the ultimate destiny, where the scattered, broken family is finally, and for good, brought back together. And listen, the end of the story isn't about us becoming little ghost cherubs floating on clouds somewhere. No way. The end goal is the full restoration of God's original plan, a new global Eden, a renewed heaven and a renewed earth, where God finally gets what he wanted all along, to live with his entire united family forever. So what are we going to be doing in this new creation? Well, it's not going to be boring, I can tell you that. We'll be resurrected, transformed, glorified. We'll finally become completed imagers of God, just like Jesus. And we will co-rule the new creation with him, taking the place of those corrupt powers that messed everything up in the first place. You see, the ultimate relationship is a family partnership, not some kind of rigid cosmic hierarchy. So when you zoom out and look at the whole thing, what's the big takeaway? The entire story of the Bible, from that first page in Genesis to the last page of Revelation, it's not just some dusty old history book. It's a personal invitation. An invitation from a father who is doing everything he can to get his family back. And really, the only question that's left is, how are you going to respond?